So, Grandma, what are your thoughts on heaven?
The perfect place to be,
How do you think we're all going to get there?
as long as you obey the word of the Lord.
Are you going to open the pearly gates for us all?
Huh?
Are you going to open the gates for us all when we come up there?
But now you conduct your conduct your life. You be like your grandpa, Bill's dad. Yeah, just wait a minute, I'll open the gate for you. That was his attitude.
Well, there you go. Well, I guess if we all keep being good to you, you'll open those gates for us someday.
Someday,
There you go.
then the whole family will be together.
So, what do you think is going to be the first thing you're going to do when you get to heaven and after you're 100 years old?
Well, I just see him now with his arms spread open. And he'll be waiting to see me.
Yes, he will. You going to give him a big old hug?
I might.
A little tap on the bum? You're gonna pat Grandpa on the bum? Say, "Where you been, you old goat?"
No, I wouldn't say that to him.
What would you say to him?
That I still love you.
Give him a kiss on the old cheek? Or are you giving him a peck on the lips?
It's always a kiss on the lips.
Always. Yep, you guys always kissed on the lips, didn't you? All right, so Grandma,
What?
this is session 1 of 9. And we're gonna, when I come back again, we'll do more, okay?
What else do you want to know?
Well, I think that eventually, because, so Grandma,
What?
having such a big family, what do you think?
If I'd known this 71 years ago, I'd have said no.
Okay, Grandma, this is to your family. What do you want to tell them?
Now, you kids just now grown up. This is about my mother and my grandparents. You may not believe this, but it's a true story. They came from Missouri, I think Bland, Missouri, and they traveled from Missouri to Kansas in a covered wagon. I call my mother the pioneered woman because actually she was. And after they got to Kansas, they stayed in a tent for months. No sleeping bag, none of this fancy stuff. They had to sleep on the ground. And they all survived. And my mother worked in a boarding house when she was just a kid, about 15. And that's where she met my dad. And when they got married, they had 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. And my mother was the woman factory worker of the year for a Boeing airplane company. And then she happened to know the right person with lots of money. And he helped her buy the old county pork farm, and she turned that into a nursing home. And there she became the best state operator for a nursing home for years. And she was well known all over Kansas. Even in Colorado, people knew her. She was well known, and somebody wrote a book about my folks, and somehow the book got lost. We don't know where it is. But that's part of the history of my family. And my husband's family, they all came from Arkansas. I don't know too much about them, but they were good people. And we looked at pictures of his granddad, his dad, and him and his son, and the grandson. They all looked alike. And I've had many people say, how'd you meet Bill? So I had told him. Well, I wished I knew somebody like him. I said, they're hard to find. Because in my book and life, I prefer him as a perfect husband. He stood by my side on everything. And if I had to correct the children, he stayed out of it. And we raised 4 good kids. And in 71 years of marriage, I still can't figure out what we did right. But they all except for Tina, I still haven't got her figured out. Right.
Right, Grandma. You're right.
But we've all had a good time. We did things with the kids. We didn't do a lot of traveling because we just didn't like to travel. We had a good life. He worked hard and I worked hard. He'd go help the neighbors do stuff, little simple stuff that you kids could do, like hanging up paper towels. And he taught our youngest daughter how to work on cars. And she knew more about the cars than our 2 boys did. And when Becky cleans, or she goes full force. She does a great job on everything. But the older kids thought we babied her, but she stuck by her mom and dad.
What's a good memory that you have of each of your children? One good memory you have of each of your children. So for your oldest, one good memory of your oldest when she was younger.
Oh, I guess not too much. Nanette was the oldest girl.
And growing up? What's your best memory of her?
And when she was a year old, I made her a cute little dress. And I put her on the hood of the car, and I said, we're going to take your picture with your cake. And I want you to put your finger. But, Mommy, I can't do it. I'll get my dress all dirty. And she would not stick her finger in the cake.
Was she a cute little baby? A little girl?
And then, see.
What about Reggie?
He almost died when he was a baby. So I told the doctor, I said, either you put him in the hospital or I will. So they put him in the hospital, did major surgery on him. And he loved to play in the mud and water. And we just turned him loose and let him do it. And he was a daredevil.
What about Uncle John?
No, that was Reggie.
Oh.
And he'd run out the street. So I had to go get him and spank his butt. And the neighbors had to go get him too. Because he just kind of like, I just dare you to hit me. So finally I put a harness on him and tied him to the clothesline. And that was his playground.
That's awesome.
So after that, he stayed home.
What about Uncle John?
He was a kid that, it was like when I gave him a toolbox, of course, had a little saw in it. And I had this beautiful chest, dresser chest. Well, what do you do with a saw? And he cut a big nick in that. I could have spanked him, but I can't do it because it's my fault. But when he was growing up, he had big blue eyes, long eyelashes, and all the girls in school hated him because of his eyes. That's something they wanted, the long eyelashes.
I bet.
And here he had them. But between him and Becky, the babies of the family, they do everything for me now.
Well, what's a good memory you have of Becky when she was a baby?
Oh, well, I took her to town one time for Christmas, and she was standing there and she told her husband, honey, I want that doll for Christmas. Would you buy it for me? And I said, I'm sorry, she's not for sale. But she said, I want that baby. I said, no, she's not for sale.
That's good. So, tell me about you and Grandpa. How did you guys meet?
How we met, oh God, that's been so many years ago. My best friend went to a dance and she entered a dance. And I think it was love at first sight on both ends here. We knew each other, met Christmas Eve, we got married New Year's Eve. Been married now for 71 years. How it lasted that long, I'll never know.
But where'd you meet at, Grandma? You met in a... You mean a bar?
No, it was we didn't call it a bar, we called it a beer joint.
Was he gonna meet a different girl there, and then he saw you? Or did he come there to meet you?
I don't know how he had a lot of girlfriends.
Boy.
When he was in the Coast Guard. But that's all in the past now. That we don't even think about it.
No, but he hooked up with you, and there you go.
Yeah.
And how many grandchildren?
And here
later?
you are, you brat.
So for your future generation, what is the one key to a great marriage or a good marriage?
Go 50-50. There's to be no fighting. We were married for 71 years, and he never laid one finger on me because he knew better.
I bet. So what about your dad, Grandma? Were you your dad's favorite? Were you Grandpa Green's favorite?
I was everybody's favorite.
And how did you become everybody's favorite? What made you successful?
I just being me. I know one time my grandpa gave me a nickel and he says, I want you to go down to the store and buy you a banana. And my sister and brother said, well, I didn't get a nickel. How come she gets a nickel and we don't get one? And that was it.
So is there anything else that, on our first session of the next 9 that we have to do, is there anything else you want to add?
Well, when I was going to school, I wasn't the smartest and I wasn't the dumbest, but I was good in sports. I played basketball, I did track, I could outrun all the boys in school. And we didn't have no basketball court. He made one out of the dirt ground.
Mm.
And now I've got all the trophies my school won. I don't have it. I do have them, but John has them right now.
Okay, hang on.